All right, good morning. It's a little gloomy here, so I'm trying to light up the room a little bit. So hopefully everyone is well this morning. So welcome. Thanks for those who may have joined or maybe watched a little bit later. We're going to just do a prenatal yoga practice today. So this practice you don't actually have to be pregnant or anything for. But if you are, congratulations. That's awesome. So what you'll see in this practice, like many of my other classes that I teach, this practice will offer many modifications for a pregnant body. It's also a practice that will feel different for everyone. So, depending on where you are in your pregnancy, just kind of listening to the body is key here. So like any other physical activity that you may be involved in, you haven't done it before, like if you haven't done yoga before, just please check with your physician, your doctor, to make sure that you're able to do this practice today. And like I mentioned, there will be offering modifications for many of the postures. So just listen to the body and take my instructions as a suggestion. So do whatever feels good. As you notice, I have several props laid out. We're going to be using blocks today, blankets, possibly the bolster for some of the postures. And then also, if you have availability to have a wall next to you, or even like kind of be in a corner of a room, if you kind of can see, this room is kind of at a weird angle, so I don't really have a corner that's really accessible. But if you have one, that's awesome. You can go ahead and use that, and I'll kind of demonstrate in a couple postures that will require that space, for our poses. So use as many or as little props as you'd like, but like I said, I'm going to definitely be modifying this practice today for pregnancy. Okay. And whenever you're ready, just kind of make your way over to your mat if you haven't yet. And we're going to start in a child's pose. A couple things we're going to do here. I'm going to use my blocks for one. And I'm not going to use my blanket today. I normally do take that, but we want to have enough space between our legs that will offer the belly a place to go. And also just to allow for a little shoulder opening here. As we start to grow in our bodies, bodies just tend to change. So you might feel more open, or might be more open to opening up the chest a little bit, opening up the shoulders. So just placing the blocks at the lowest setting here and placing them in front of us as we rest our forehead on the ground, and allow the blocks just to support our arms and hands. And we'll take a few moments here, just feeling the breath filling up the entire back body. Allowing the spine to just lengthen out. And as our bellies and our chest kind of dip down towards the ground, again, you're creating space in the chest, the upper chest, the shoulders, even like the upper back a little bit. And if you're like me, I woke up this morning with a lovely sinus headache. So if you just kind of take a moment here to just rub the forehead side to side. Take a few more breaths. All right. And slowly, maybe remove your hands from the blocks and we'll come up to a tabletop pose. And it's going to take your time. We're going to still use these blocks for other parts of our practice, so just don't move them too far away. All right, so talking the toes here. So this allows for a little stretch on the bottom of the feet, which also is definitely good to have some nice stretching and kind of massaging the feet in some way, especially when you get later in your pregnancy. All right, and we're just coming to a nice flat back. Just taking a couple breaths here. Maybe if you want to, you can kind of scoot back towards your heels. Or maybe shift the hips a little bit side to side. Just some gentle, easy movement. Just to kind of stretch those toes and feet. All right, so another kind of opening here, pose of sorts. I'm going to actually walk myself back a couple inches. So more in the middle of my mat. And again, you can use blocks here, but I'm actually just going to move them off to the side or just kind of move them to the side so I have some room, and I'll walk my hands out. Now this time I'm keeping my hips lifted as I melt my chest down, coming into a puppy pose. Again, same kind of thing, space being created. In the upper thoracic, opening up the chest and the heart. And again, forehead can come to the mat or maybe your chin. It just depends on where you are with your practice. And we'll just spend a couple more moments here. All right, one more breath. Deep breath in. Good. And then kind of slide your hands back, walk them back. Lift yourself back up to your hands and your knees. Toes still tucked. And again, we'll just kind of take a little moment here to push back towards the heels and just move a little side to side. Just kind of almost stretching the side body a little bit. All right, and you can always keep your toes tucked for this next one, or let's kind of let them go if you wanted to, if you had enough of that. We're going to go ahead and start to drop the belly down. As we do that, again, rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest. Maybe the gaze comes up for that cow spine. And then exhale, rounding the back. Good, deep breath in. Again, dropping that belly down, lifting up the heart. And then exhaling. Yeah, just kind of start to move here again on your own breath, maybe adding other movements to the body that feels good. I personally like just kind of creating like a rolling action with my cat cow, just to kind of get that little side stretch in and really round the back. And if you're doing the same thing, maybe change directions. See how the differences in the movements feel. Or if you're just doing regular cat cow, let's go ahead and do a couple more deep breaths, kind of filling up the body and exhaling everything out. All right, good. Coming back to a tabletop pose. And this again is going to be just a little bit of shoulder opening, a little bit of opening here with the body. We're going to take up that right arm, reach it up towards the ceiling just for a little reach, stretching it out. And we're going to take that right arm and place it underneath the left. Just walk the left fingertips forward a little bit. All right, one more breath. And let's go ahead and walk those left fingertips back towards the face. We're going to press in with that left arm. Go ahead and reach that right arm up. Good. And then we'll take ourselves back to a tabletop pose. I don't have a lot of room here because I'm so close to the wall. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and reach up that left arm and then bring it underneath the right. My head comes down to the earth. And then my right. Okay, let's go ahead and walk the right fingertips back, pressing in, lifting up, sweeping that left arm out from underneath, reaching up tall, and then coming back to our tabletop pose. So let's go ahead again and bring the blocks kind of back into the picture because we are going to use them for the next couple of things. All right. And what I'd like you to do, or what I'm going to do here, Lisa, I'm going to tuck my toes under, place my hands on the blocks at the lower setting again, and then use them for my downward facing dog. And this kind of allows for a little bit of pressure to be taken off the wrist. And for when you get to your down dog, go ahead and take a nice wide down dog, nice wide stance. So feet maybe as wide as the mat, and then start to pedal the feet for 5 breaths. This will take a little bit. So really smooth and take your time. My last breath here. Good. Exhale everything out. Let's go ahead and generously bend the knees. Look forward, and we're going to take a walk up Take a few steps, as many as you need, and just kind of bring your feet behind the blocks. So still kind of wide, maybe not as wide as they were before. Generous bend in the knees. And we can just kind of place the hands here on the blocks. Just a moment. Let's inhale and halfway lift. So maybe just keeping the hands here, soft bend the knees, or maybe straightening the legs, depending again how the body feels here. We do want a little lift in the chest. And then exhale again, bend those knees and fold down, drop the head. And if you feel comfortable, go elbow to elbow. And take a few moments here in ragdoll, allowing the body to fold on, in. And again, if you need to take your feet even wider, go ahead. Again, whatever feels good for our bodies here. All right, excellent. Bring the hands back to the blocks if you don't have them there. We're going to slowly roll ourselves up to mountain pose. So again, keep the knees bent for a moment and kind of pull up one vertebrae at a time, inhaling the arms up. And then exhaling the hands to the heart. Awesome. All right, so we're going to do a few, and I'll kind of explain what we're going to do. We are going to do a few sun salutations. And again, I'm going to modify them with the block. One thing to keep in mind, if you are like in the third trimester of your pregnancy, it's probably not recommended to stretch the front of the body too much. So I would avoid doing the cobras and up dogs and just maybe skipping that and going from plank to down dog. That's again my recommendation, but if you're still comfortable doing so and you've been practicing this whole time during your pregnancy, please, feel free to do whatever you need to do for your body today. All right, let's go ahead and inhale, arms come up. And exhale again, bend the knees, fold in half, reach down for those blocks. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. So plant your hands here, step back to plank. So holding this plank here. And then exhale, lower down a little bit. Inhale, up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths when we get here. Excellent. Let's go ahead and lift up those heels, bend the knees, take that walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, slowly rise. Again, bring those arms up above the head. Reach it up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, again, nice deep breath in. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. All right, planting the hands, taking it back to your plank, taking a breath in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. All right, one more inhale here. And exhale it out. Let's do one more round. Taking a breath in as we inhale, lifting up those heels, taking a walk up to the top of your mat. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Through to rise. Slowly roll the body up. Bring those arms up above the head. Reach. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, last round. Inhale, arms sweep up. Good. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold in half. Go ahead and step back to plank. Again, nice breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath. I'm just taking a few moments here. Now, if at any point during this practice, if this is even too much for you, take child's pose or take any other pose that feels good for your body. All right, let's go ahead and inhale. We're going to come back up to the top of the mat. So taking a little walk. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. All right, reach to rise. Again, reaching all the way up. And exhale, hands come down to the heart. Excellent. So I hope that felt good. Maybe it is a nice warming feeling of the body. Just to kind of do some sun salutations. All right, so again, we're going to use the blocks for the next couple postures. I'm going to place them at a higher height for a moment. All right, now we're going to move through some more sun salutations again that will kind of be modified. All right, let's go ahead and inhale, reach up, and again, maybe your feet are as wide as your mat or maybe not as wide, but this is why it's comfortable for you. Let's go ahead and sit down in chair pose. Let's spend a couple breaths here. And what we're going to do first is just kind of offer just a twisting of the body, but a really gentle twist. So we're going to do a couple different variations, 3 rounds of it again. All right, so starting with just an open arm twist. What I'm going to do is take my right arm and start to float it back as my left fingertips reach forward. I'm just twisting towards the wall. You're trying to keep your knees forward here. Good. And as we reach back towards center, reach back up. And then exhale, fold. So maybe reaching down for those blocks again, bending the knees, dropping the head. Good. Inhale halfway. And then exhale and fold. All right, good. So we're going to step back first to a warrior 1. So we're going to keep the right arm front and center. Actually, before we do the warrior 1, we are going to step back the left foot. So let's go ahead. We're going to keep it in the heel up for a moment. And we're going to have the right arm planted and lifting up. Actually, no, we don't want to do that. We want to have the left arm planted and then reach that right arm up. So just kind of a nice dragonfly twist. Good. And I noticed I had the blocks at the highest setting here, just to kind of bring the ground a little closer to the body. All right, so now planting the back heel down. Again, create as much space as you need. You might take a nice wide stance here with your warrior 1. Again, just kind of take it wherever you need to go. And then maybe you're not flexing into the front leg as much. But keeping the hips squared the best you can. And just extending that back leg back. Lifting the heart. And take one more breath. And then exhale, we're going to release it down. I'm going to move the blocks back to that lower setting for a moment. Place my hands, step back to plank. And you can either do another vinyasa here if you're okay with that, or I'm just going to actually take it back to downward facing dog and taking that nice wide stance once again. And taking a few breaths. All right, let's go ahead and inhale. Up those heels, bend the knees, take a walk up to the top of the mat. Again, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale and fold. Let's find your way back to that chair as we come on up. Inhale. And sit back down. Good, and we're gonna do the open arm twist now to the left side. So left arm goes back as we reach those right fingertips forward, just an easy twist. Good, bring it back to center. And exhale, fold it down. Again, I'm gonna kind of switch the block level here as I'm doing this. Inhale, halfway. And exhale and fold. Good. So again, now we're actually gonna take the right toes back. Good. And we're going to have this right hand continue to be planted on the block as we reach the left arm up. Good. And as we plant both hands again on the block, we're going to drop that back heel. And when you're ready, inhaling up to warrior one. Good. Go ahead and exhale, hands down. Again, I want to switch the blocks, plant the hands, step back to plank. Again, you can lower here or just exhale to downward facing dog. Going through a vinyasa or just kind of finding that way there. Take a few breaths once you get in down dog. All right, nice breath. And let's go ahead and lift those heels, bend the knees. Walk yourself up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale and fold. I'm going to go through couple another variations of with chair and twisting. So go ahead and come back onto chair. And sitting down into the heel. All right. So what we're going to do first, again, we're going to bring this left forearm down to our thigh and then reach the right arm up. So just a little opening here. So kind of finding this as a shelf, and I'm actually not very straight. Good. And then come back to center. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. All right, so we're going to again step back the left toes, plant the left hand, bring the right arm up to twist. All right, reaching the hands back down, plant that back heel. And when you're ready, again, inhale up, warrior one. Good, exhale, release it down. Step back to plank and vinyasa here, or go back to downward facing dog. Again, just reaching those heels back. All right, lifting up the heels, bending the knees, stepping it all the way up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. All right, coming back to that chair pose. And again, we'll kind of create that little shelf for our forearm as we reach up the left. Good. Inhale back to center. And then fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Right toe goes back. Planting the right hand. Lift the left arm up to twist. I think that dragonfly twist. Good. Reach the arm down. Plant the back heel. And let's go ahead and reach ourselves up for warrior one. Excellent. Go ahead and exhale, fold down, step back, downward facing dog. All right, let's go ahead and lift up the heels. Bend the knees, again, making your way up to the top. We have one more round and a different variation once again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold it in. All right, come back to chair pose. One last time here. All right, this time bringing the hands to the heart. And what we're gonna do, because most of the time when you end up growing a little bit, it's a little more difficult to twist and have like your elbow or something on your knee or thigh. So we're actually just gonna, and I've taught this actually a couple times in class before. So we're just gonna rotate the upper body. So keeping the hips squared, just rotate over to the right. All right, come back to center, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale and fold. So again, we're going to step the left foot back, plant the right hand, and maybe you plant the levels here. Actually, plant the left hand, lift that right arm up. So maybe this is a little more accessible for you, or maybe it feels better here. And just kind of play around. You know your body. And go ahead, drop the heel. Reach on up, warrior one. Excellent. Let's go ahead and release. Back to plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. All right, lifting up those heels, bending the knees, make your way up. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. All right, chair pose one last time. And I promise it's the last time. All right, bring the hands to the heart. And then we're going to rotate over to the left. Good, bring it back to center. Reach those arms up. Exhale and fold it down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, again, plant the hands. Right toe is going to go back. Lift up that left arm. Reach the arm down. Plant the back heel. Warrior one with our breath. And again, whatever feels more stable for you here, maybe you take a wider stance. Maybe you don't. Again, just kind of listen to your body. Good. Let's go ahead and bring the hands back down. Step it back to plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. All right, let's go ahead and lift up those heels, bend the knees, walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale halfway, and exhale, fold. Let's go ahead and stand all the way up. Let's roll it on up here. Reach it tall. So this is the next part of our standing sequence that we're going to work on today. And this is kind of where I wanted to use the wall for the postures. And you'll see what I mean in a few moments. You have your blocks again nearby. Let's go ahead and reach up. Exhale again, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. So our left foot is going to go back. This time coming to warrior two. And this might be where we kind of step closer to your wall. All right, reach it up. Extend the arms out. And if you want to, again, this might be where you find that support behind you. And also kind of works on that alignment as well. All right, let's go ahead and reach or flip the front palm, reverse warrior. This is a beautiful expression here to kind of stretch out that side body again, like we did earlier in practice. Good, and then exhale, extended side angle. So maybe making that shelf here with your leg, and then rotating open, using that wall for your support, reaching the arm up or maybe over the ear. Finding that length all the way from those fingertips to the heel that's connected with the ground. Good, let's go ahead and reverse warrior. So reach that arm back. Awesome. And then from here, straightening out the front leg. And this is why I kind of had a block close by. I like to practice triangle with a block. And again, this is my preference. You don't have to. But as we're here, lengthen the body forward, reaching those right fingertips forward, and then down to your block, or maybe your shin or ankle, toes. Again, using that wall for your support. Excellent. Bend into the front leg. Now, just take a moment. We're actually going to come into half moon from here. I'm actually going to reach that block forward that I was just using and slowly start to lift up my left leg, and maybe I stay here. And this is actually beneficial if you have that wall, you're in that corner of the room, if you can actually push the heel into the wall behind you, find some really great length. But yeah, find the wall here, open it up. Excellent. Let's go ahead and step back to plank. All right, I'm going to change this for a moment and then come to my downward facing dog. Yeah, take a few moments here to kind of stretch out the body, stretch out the back, the hamstring. Excellent. Let's go ahead and lift up those heels, bend the knees, again, walking up. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Let's root to rise. Bring yourself all the way up to stand. Reach those arms up high. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to do the last side. So I will be using the wall for this one. I'm actually going to not be using it. So again, it's your preference, your practice today. All right, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. All right, so we're going to come to that warrior two. So stepping that right foot back. Awesome. Opening up. Yeah, just kind of find it here. All right, flipping up the front palm, reverse warrior. And then as you exhale, again, finding that shelf here, or if you want to take it a little further, you can always bring a block. And then taking the arm up and over the ear. Excellent. All right, reverse your warrior, reach it all the way up and back. All right, straightening out that front leg, lengthening. So starting here and then reaching it forward, floating those fingertips down for triangle pose. Good. All right, start to bend into that front leg. Like, it's just going to take your time here, finding that half moon. So, you know, sometimes too, and I haven't really done this a whole lot recently. Whoa. And I probably need more balance than anything. So maybe you're just here today. Or again, maybe you're just using the wall for support. That's fine too. All right. Let's go ahead, bring the foot down. We're going to lower that block down. Step back to plank. And exhale to downward facing dog. All right, so what I would like you to do from here is actually take your toes and turn them outward. So if they're already kind of wide, you want to have them wide. And we'll walk our hands kind of back. We're going to come to a goddess squat. Now, if this is not accessible for you, just to kind of kneel like this, take one of your blocks, have a little seat. Just kind of opening up the hips a little bit. This should feel good. And all right, when you're ready, just kind of come to the hands and the knees for a moment. And we're going to do another variation of child's pose. Now, I'm not going to use my blocks, so I'll kind of move them to the side for a moment. And I will use my blanket this time around just to kind of support the knees. And again, this is personal preference. Take the knees wide on your mat. And if you have a bolster or some pillows or blankets or something, you can always use those. This also could be used for if you wanted to have, if you had blocks instead of this equipment, that's totally fine too. What we're going to do is actually support our head here. Instead of having it on the mat, on the ground, we're just going to bring our forehead down here. We're just going to spend a couple breaths, a couple moments. And just kind of make the appropriate adjustments of where you need that to be. Making the knees as wide as you need them to be. All right, just take a few more breaths. All right, pressing yourself back up. And we will use our blocks for this next posture. So go ahead and grab those if you have them handy. And we're going to come to a butterfly seat. And actually, I'm going to turn so I have a little more room. And we're going to grab both of those blocks. Let me move this. And I'm just gonna place one under each of my knees. So you can again place them at any height. Actually, I'm gonna turn them a little bit this way. If this is a little too much when you just have them at the lowest setting, then maybe they go up here. So I'm just gonna take it wherever you like. We're just gonna sit here for a few breaths, few moments again. A nice tall spine. And again, just kind of playing with the height of the block. So maybe this feels good on the body. All right, a couple more breaths. All right, at our next breath out, we're gonna take the left leg and extend it out to the side and bring the right thigh in towards the left, or right sole of the foot in towards the left thigh. All right, and we'll take one of our blocks and just gonna place it on the inside part of the leg. And just gonna placing maybe a hand here, we're gonna reach all the way up with that right arm. And if you can, maybe bend it over a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge bend, but maybe your forearm comes down here. We just want a little bit of a stretch in the side body. So whatever feels right here. And we're just gonna spend a couple more breaths. And go ahead and slowly come on back and we'll switch legs. Taking that right leg out, left foot in, place a block on the inside part of the leg. Reach that arm down and then take your left arm. Again, you can bend over towards the toes or maybe just reach up, open up a little bit here. All right, go ahead and come back. All right, last couple postures here. So taking a nice wide straddle with our legs. Let me kind of straighten this out again. And again, if you need to prop anything up, prop yourself up on anything, that's fine. I'm going to take both of my blocks and just place them in front of me. And then again, this can be your, I guess, how far you want to fold is totally up to you. You can take your hands just to the blocks and just be here. And actually, we're going to stay there for just a moment and maybe in like a few breaths, we can just kind of work them out a little further forward so we can see a little bit more of a fold into this. All right, and if you can or want to, maybe kind of inch yourself forward, dropping down a little bit further. All right, couple more breaths. All right, then slowly bring yourself in up to that seated position. And then the next couple postures is dependent again on you, on what your body feels good in your body. So just kind of take it as you can or want to. I'm going to come to my back and we're just going to spend a few moments here. Let me move this out of the way for the time being. And we're going to need one of our blocks. So placing ourselves on our back for a few breaths. And we're going to inhale our hips up and place the block underneath the sacrum for a few breaths, a few moments. You're coming into supported bridge, just letting the arms rest to the side, maybe rolling the shoulders underneath the body a little bit. And just gently taking the chin just like a millimeter up towards the ceiling. All right, and if you're able to and want to, from here, go ahead and take the legs straight up into the air. We're just like a waterfall pose, allowing the blood to gently come down the legs naturally. And on the rest a little bit, giving it some time to just slow down. This also helps with, obviously, inflammation in the legs. So if you're starting to feel a little bit of inflammation in your ankles or feet, this will definitely allow for that to settle down. All right, just a couple more breaths. All right, go ahead and slowly lower your legs. We're going to press into the mat with the heels and having the legs kind of wide still, just start to windshield wiper the legs gently back and forth. And then we're going to take a moment and just drop the knees over to the right side. You can always bring your arms above the head here. And then we'll start to windshield wiper them again, just a couple times. And then when you fall over to the left, go ahead and pause there for a moment again. All right, go ahead and bring yourself back to center. So we're going to come into Shavasana. And if you have like that additional bit of prep, like if you have extra pillows or blankets, this is great to kind of support you from behind. And what I'm going to do is actually take the bolster here and I'm actually going to set up tall ways to provide me a little bit of support so that I can lay on my left side. And we can take the blanket as well, or a blanket, and then come into a comfortable spot. And it could be, you know, having the blanket folded quite a bit to provide that extra padding. You know, whatever is comfortable for the mama or the whoever is practicing today. Go ahead and just kind of find that. Good. All right, so start to again deepen the breath. All right. And, we're just going to create some movement in the body. Maybe you're wiggling toes and fingers here. And when you're ready, just gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Eyes can be at a soft gaze or remaining closed. And let's go ahead and get just kind of some grounding in here. So I want you to take your ring finger and your pinky, and we're just going to bring them in to the palm of the hand and bring the thumb on top. We're creating this peace finger. And just taking those fingers and bringing them to your sides, or if you can't quite comfortably reach, just bring them to your sides. Taking a few breaths. I'm just kind of listening to your body, feeling the energy coming in and out. All right, go ahead, release the mudra, placing the palms of the hands at the heart center. So thank you so much for joining me this morning, practicing with me, sharing your energy. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week. Let's bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye, center of the forehead. The divine light in me honors the divine light in each of you. And together we bow. Namaste. All right, until we see each other again, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.